What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, we're actually going to be doing another Pokemon Go tutorial, and that's going to be in regards to hitting 3 excellent curveballs in a row. In my opinion, this is actually one of the more difficult quests that you can do in Pokemon Go. But with an excellent reward like Larvitar, this is something that a lot of people definitely want to do. So I could simply just show you how to hit an excellent curveball, but there's a completely different scenario when you're talking about hitting it multiple times in a row. So what I'm going to do today is briefly talk about how you can hit an excellent curveball, and then secondly, what the best situations for you to put yourself in to be able to do so. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the episode. So let's go ahead and get into the excellent curveball tutorial. By the way, if you are already familiar with this method or you have seen some of my videos in the past, I do have a timestamp to basically get you to the point where I'll talk about the strategy of the best situations to be in. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. So Tyranitar tends to be extremely difficult for a lot of people, mostly because it jumps around a lot, it taunts a ton. If you've ever done a raid for it, you are going to know this to be true. So basically, the first method is going to be where you hold on to the Pokeball, or in this case, a Premier Ball. By the way, this will work with all encounters. And what we're going to be doing is something known as sizing down the circle. Basically, you're going to hold on to the Pokeball until the ring goes down to an excellent size. And then once it gets down to the excellent size and you have it where you need it to be, you're basically going to go ahead and just do nothing. So basically, if we back it up just a little bit, you're going to see that I basically sized it down right there. I held it to where the circle was only about this big, which that's definitely going to be excellent. So now it's going to be the second step. We're simply going to wait for this Pokemon to actually taunt. And then during the middle of the taunt, that's going to be when we throw our curveball. And just as a heads up, this is my own personal preference. I always throw the curveballs from the left side, basically doing a swirling motion and then throwing it and then letting it land back onto the Pokemon. But we'll go ahead and take a look at what this looks like. So something interesting kind of stopped a lot of people initially is this is kind of a way around everything that Niantic has created for raids. I mean, this basically gives you so much of an advantage because a taunt can't get in the way. It can't jump. Once you get down the timing, this is 100% going to be the best method. So as you will see, the Pokemon is in the middle of a taunt and I still haven't even thrown it yet. And then finally I throw it. So if you're a little bit unfamiliar with how this works, you'll see that the excellent ring is not on the screen. So I don't want you to get freaked out by it, because once you start getting the timing down right, once the ball actually makes it to the Pokemon, it's going to have it to where the excellent ring shows back up, guaranteeing that the Pokemon doesn't have time to taunt, it doesn't have time to jump. You can basically hit a ton of excellence this way, and you can catch so many more Pokemon by using this method. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into what I think is going to be the absolute best situation to hit multiple excellent curveballs in a row. So the first situation that I wanted to talk about to basically set yourself up for success getting multiple excellent throws in a row is going to be versus raid bosses. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some reasons as to why this is going to be a smart idea. So first things first, they're going to be fairly difficult to catch. And here's how that plays to your advantage. When you're going against a raid boss, basically don't use a golden raz, don't use anything like that, and it's going to make it extremely difficult to catch. And how that helps you is it allows some consistency for you, throwing multiple times at the exact same Pokemon. You can set the circle, no problem. You can basically up your chances significantly on how many excellent throws you can get in a row. If you think about it, it's so much harder to basically hit a bunch of random Pokemon that do not look the same. They have different ranges, they're further back, one's flying, one's really close up, one taunts a lot, one doesn't taunt a lot. And with this method, basically a second step as to why raid bosses are going to be really good is going to be because of this. Raid bosses taunt a ton, so you can use this once again to your advantage. With the throwing method that we talked about, you basically get a number of opportunities to just wait for a taunt, and you don't end up waiting a long time. If you end up being that person who's trying to wait for a Pidgey to taunt at you and it never taunts, you're basically going to spend a lot of time. But if you use a raid boss instead, because it taunts so much, it's going to end up being a very good example. So as you're seeing, I'm basically missing on this, right? I was worried like, there's no way I'm going to be able to hit this one. I'm like, I was trying so hard. I was hitting a couple of them. I couldn't get it in a row. I started getting a little nervous once it got down to like 6. I kept just barely missing it over and over again. But keep in mind, this is why this is such a good method. Because of these legendary Pokemon being so hard to catch, having such a low catch rate, you can basically get a ton of throws. Here I am basically down on the 4th ball. I'm not freaking out. I'm basically saying to myself, you know what? Just keep doing it. You can hit it. And we're already on the 2nd one. All we have to do is hit one more. So this is going to be a little bit of a tip. Just so you don't have to throw away a raid boss to do this method, once you get onto your 3rd excellent throw, I would highly recommend you to go ahead and start using a golden Raz. You really have nothing to lose at that point, because if you break the streak, you're not going to be able to finish it out in this case. So that is something that I did for this, because like I said, this is the first Registeel raid that I've ever done, so I want to make sure that I catch it and hit all of the excellent throws. Something kind of interesting though, I was able to hit that 3rd excellent throw, but I didn't get the actual streaks to tell me that, which is a little bit weird. But basically the streaks get delayed until the end of the encounter that you have with the Pokemon. So once I started getting on pace, it became so much easier to hit an excellent. This was going to be the 4th one, but I'm still worried about not catching it, right? I'm down onto the last ball. Am I going to be able to catch my first Registeel while also doing this tutorial? Spoiler alert, if I posting this video, you know that I did make it. There we go. That's going to be the 5th excellent in a row, making that task seem so much easier because of using a raid boss. So go ahead and check that out. On the last ball, I was able to catch Registeel. I was able to get the task. As you will see there, it's the 3 nice throws and the 3 excellent throws. So something epic about this, by the way, is that you can get a shiny Larvitar from this. But I also have one more method that I want to talk about before we get into the encounter. So a second method to this all is going to be finding a Pokemon with a really large excellent ring. For example, Ursaring is actually going to be a perfect Pokemon. Its excellent circle is absolutely massive. And if you make sure to use nothing but Pokeballs, you're going to guarantee the chance that it's going to basically not be caught as easily, so you can get multiple throws, basically calibrate it, and it will give your best shot if you are not able to do raids. But let's go ahead and get into the encounter. So I said this before, but you are able to get a shiny Larvitar out of this, so this is something that I would highly recommend you to check out. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't able to get one, but by all means, I wanted to post this video to help as many people as possible. So I wanted to show you something that was pretty peculiar. So maybe some people have noticed this, that the berries recently have been carrying over to the next Pokemon. This kind of doesn't play in my favor in this case, because I was wanting to value the candy more than anything. So basically I tried using a Pokeball, I tried not hitting anything, I accidentally hit an ice out of it, hoping that Larvitar would pop out since it does have a fairly low catch rate. Unfortunately though, I was able to catch it. You know, a little bit of a side note, at least I caught it, I guess, but I was definitely wanting to get some candy out of it. But anyways, I hope this video was helpful. I hope that it was helpful to basically get you to hit those 3 excellent throws. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.
Hit me like a tidal wave.